Alright, so today I will be installing this Ford 9-inch center section. It has 389 gears, it has a Detroit locker. It takes 31 spline axles. I made a video on this a while back when I assembled it. And I will also be installing these new axles from Strange. First I have to remove the wheels and remove the stock 28 spline axles. Okay, so there are 4 bolts, 2 here, 2 on that side that are holding this plate that retains the axle in the housing. I'm going to remove those. And these nuts are 9/16. And there's the original axle, driver's side. Alright, there's a look inside the housing of this seal. Needs to come out. It's for a 28 spline axle, and actually the new axles I'm putting in do not need a seal because the bearing, the outer bearing, has an O-ring on it. So here's the original axle with the new axle, and this is the bearing I'm talking about. Has the O-ring, so therefore you don't need a inner seal. And I removed the axle seals from the housing using a slide hammer that I borrowed from AutoZone. Here you can see the axle seal that I removed from the driver's side. Alright, so you're looking at the passenger side axle seal. I'm going to use this slide hammer to take out the seal. There's 3 jaws go inside the seal. Alright, so you tighten the jaws up. Just like that. A ratcheting gear wrench may help. Alright, I have removed all of the nuts on the housing except for one. I've got this ratcheting wrench stuck because dummy me forgot about this. These 2 lower ones don't have a lot of access, so I made a few turns on the nut and then could not get the wrench out, and it cannot tighten it up because of the ratcheting mechanism, so I'm stuck with that there until I crack this center section loose from the housing and then get more space to remove the wrench. And there's also, you may or may not have copper washers on your studs. that I removed all of them except for this one. They can make it more difficult to remove the center section from the housing. Alright, so I took a hammer and screwdriver to pry the center section away from the housing. I'm now draining the oil. Using a transmission jack to lower the center section. And I had to remove a muffler to get this center section out of here. All right, and here is the center section that's been removed. This is a 325 traction lock with 28 splines. Housing that has been somewhat cleaned out. All right, so this is the gasket that was on the center section that I had on there. This is a lube blocker gasket, and they don't require RTV. They're also supposed to be reusable, but I'm going to put a new one on. Plus I've kind of mangled this one up a little bit. It's sealed pretty well, no leaks. Alright, I have the new lube blocker gasket in place, and now I just have the difficult task of lifting this and getting it on the studs. Alright, it is in place. Running out of daylight, but we do have it in. A couple nuts on. And these nuts, the gold nuts from Strange, they are just a flange nut, and they did not supply copper washers like the old nuts, so I'm assuming I don't need them. So hoping for no leaks. Alright, so the center section has been, all of the nuts have been torqued. These nuts are 7/16, where the center section that I removed, the nuts were 9/16. But anyway, I think it's time to put some gear oil in. So let's go back over to the axle. Oh yeah, there's my lube blocker axle gasket sticking out, so fingers crossed no leaks here. I don't think there will be. All right, back to the axle bearings for a second. The axle bearings that you see here are a cartridge style sealed cartridge with ball bearings inside, and this is the only type of bearing that's available for a 4.9-inch with a small diameter housing ends, which is what I have and what all Mustangs had through 1970, I believe. And so since this cartridge is sealed, I went ahead and installed the axle seal inside the housing to prevent a leak in the event that this O-ring were to fail. The original bearings did not have an O-ring on the outside, so that's why they had the seal inside the housing. But otherwise, the bearings were the same. They were ball bearings, and a sealed cartridge like this. If you have a larger diameter housing end, the Torino style ends, they do take a tapered roller bearing, which require lubrication to the ends of the housing, in which case you would not install a seal inside the housing. The seal is on the outside of the bearing, similar to this O-ring, but a little bit different. It's a rubber seal, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the installation of the inner axle seal here in a second. All right, so I am putting a new axle seal on. There's the part number 9363S, 31 spline axles, larger diameter, so I need a seal with a bigger opening than with the 28 spline axle. It's gonna go in there. It's gonna go in there like that. And with a seal driver, I'll tap it in. And there it is. And you're looking at the passenger side axle tube opening, and I do have the seal installed. I'm going to put the gear oil in from this side. I'm going to lower the driver's side axle and attempt to put it in from the opening here. And I'm going to be using Torco racing gear oil 85W140. All right, so this is the setup I ended up going with, and it's going down about as expected, like molasses. So we're getting there. I got about quart and a half in so far. All right, these are the axle studs, and they actually get threaded into the axle flange. So they get threaded into the axle flange like so. All right, so the studs get threaded on like that, and then this axle retainer is actually a problem I've discovered. The stock one is rectangular, where this one has these peaks on both sides, and it actually interferes with part of the drum brake assembly. So it's going to have to be rectified, otherwise the axle cannot put the nuts on to retain the axle. All right, back to these wheel studs. They are 1/2 inch 20, and they're supposed to be torqued to 90 foot-pounds with red Loctite. I went ahead and torqued these studs to spec with the red Loctite. Here you can see a comparison of the new axles with the original axles. And here is a side-by-side comparison of the 69 original 28 spline axle with the strange 31 spline axle. It looks like they're pretty much right on dimensionally as far as axle length. The flange do have longer studs. All right, so here is my axle retainer flange that I have cut out in this U shape to make it be compatible with my parking brake pivot that you see there where it was interfering before. I could have possibly installed the retainer plate without cutting the opening in like I did here if I had taken the parking brake link out and then put the axle in, tighten the flange down, tighten the retainer plate down, and then put the link back on. But I'm not sure I could get the link back on with the axle fully installed. But anyway, Strange does sell a retainer plate with the opening like this horseshoe shape so that you can install it, take it on or off, so it's not held captive by the axle bearing. All right, I am wrapping this operation up. I have the axle retainer flange or bracket in place, and I'm just going from each of the 4 nuts, basically drawing the axle in with the retainer flange, tightening it, and about all the way there, so that about wraps it up. And there it is with the drum on. Looks pretty fantastic with a rusty drum, but that's the way it is. And here's the axle in the daylight with a wheel installed.